Recording is on. Recording is on.
Mm. Melissa, nice to meet you.
Yes, you too. I think I saw you last night doing your presentation at the board meeting.
I was wondering if you were there. I was like, I wanted to say hi, but I didn't know who.
Yeah, I brought my grandma with me, so you actually,
Oh,
I think you ended up being the one who moved.
I wish I would have known that was you. I would have loved to stop and say hello. Oh, hate online meetings. I wish we could meet in person. But we can chat afterwards. I'd love to. Um, I think is your phone number on your application that you sent?
I'm sure. I think so.
Where is everybody? How did you hear about the Arts Commission?
Well, a long story, but I ended up, Dave knows my grandma who I brought to the meeting quite well. And so,
She's a total rock star.
yeah. So, here I am.
Perfect. Well, I heard from Caitlin that she wasn't able to come. Debbie said she heard from two people, but I don't know who the other person was.
I think it was Caitlin and Lori.
And then it looked like Omar did not sign up for. Or were you not
I
able
did
to?
not hear back from him, so he didn't get reappointed, and now we do, though, have a full list of commissioners.
So the full 11?
Yes. We need
3, 4, 5.
one more. Who's going to be the magic one tonight?
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I made it through the presentation last night. A lot of sweating and nervousness, but it was all scripted. I was just like, read the script and we're good.
Don't deviate.
I couldn't figure out how to like use PowerPoint. I was like, what do I do? Like, click on it and yeah. Been a while since I've had to do that. Um, David, do you know who the other new commissioner is?
Louise Albright.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw her name. All right, looks like Melissa's here, so we can go ahead and start the meeting. Looks like we have a quorum. I'm figure out. Roll call. Debbie, 604. Looks like we can go ahead and start the meeting.
I'm afraid to unmute because I'm giving you guys a static, but we'll see how it goes. So I have
Okay.
Chair Cancrow,
Here.
Commissioner French,
Here.
Commissioner Sorrow Williams, Commissioner Selly was going to be absent tonight, Commissioner Deckman,
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
Commissioner Yanez, Commissioner Wolford also said she was going to be absent, Commissioner Turner,
Here.
Commissioner Albright, and then Commissioner Munson Merritt.
Here.
Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. David, help me out here. We already did the election of the vice chair, correct?
We decided to, we decided to wait on the vice chair until this month because not everybody was there last month. So we only voted you into place last month.
Right, right. So Stephanie's here. So would anybody like to make a motion to elect our vice chair?
You want to do nominations, or are you just automatically nominating Stephanie?
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you usually do it? You do nominations first?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So would anybody like to nominate or put in your nominations for the vice chair. Do we do that by text or by, not, sorry, verbally? Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Do I nominate myself?
Okay, so in light of that, I nominate Stephanie French.
And we need a second.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Melissa.
Stephanie, how do you feel about taking on this role? I know you're going through a lot of changes right now. I don't know if this is something you want right now.
Yes, I'm good with it. Let's
Are
do
you
it.
sure?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody like to make a motion then to approve Stephanie as the vice chair?
Will it just be you actually calling for a vote?
Well,
Okay.
actually,
Yeah.
with no other nominations, it's a unanimous then, so we don't need to vote because there's only one person to vote for.
Okay.
So we're good.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. All right. So moving on to the approval of minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at them. Gonna have someone make a motion to approve the minutes.
Yeah, I motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do I need a verbal favors then?
No, we're good.
Okay. Minutes have been approved. Has there been any correspondence we know of?
None that I've received.
Awesome. We have time for citizen comments. Any citizen comments? All right, moving on. Getting through this. Look at us. Old and continuing business. Work plan is still on here because I'm still needing help with that. I need a volunteer to help me with the work plan. Basically involves just coming up with a spreadsheet or like just a little bit of organizing.
I'm happy to help with the work plan. I think the last meeting that I believe I was at, which was a couple of months ago now, we talked about being able to use the tools within Microsoft Office 365 to build a work plan and manage a work plan that way. So I think we were waiting on some information from the city on whether or not we were going to have access to that, whether that was allowed. And if not, we can just generate a spreadsheet or use some other tool for that.
Okay. Well, you're about a light year ahead of me. I'm like, computers, I don't even know. David, do you have any comment on that?
When we get to SharePoint, Chuck has set that up so I can talk about that part later. So if that's what you want to do, the work plan in, sorry, that can work there.
Okay. Are there any other comments on that? Sounds like we can move it to talk about later. So, continuing business, I see annual calendar of events. that's something that would also be helpful to be revised. The one that we have is we've made some revisions to it. We last month we talked about moving the Medal of the Arts Award to October versus January. So things like that could be in there and need to be switched around. So I just need somebody who could help just basically typing up a calendar of events, and that would be something that we could have on our kind of, what was I going to say? New commissioner handout packet. I would like to be able to put together like a handout so that it's just simple, and every time there's a new person appointed, we can kind of give them a packet of information, would include the calendar of events so that they're kind of aware and can see the year lined out like that. So anybody would like to volunteer to help kind of just put that together, literally wouldn't take more than a few minutes, but like I said, I'm not really great at organizing things. So
Are you, does this entail just putting events on in a format that can easily be shared, or is it also creating events, like actually putting events on the calendar, coming up with ideas?
Well, based off of what we've done previously, it was just like kind of year in review, like quick look at it, see what we have going on, as far as I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every year might be different. We might have new events, so it would need to be looked at every year. If we've got some new event happening, that would be added to it. But
And events would be part of the work plan, right? I think they kind
yes,
of together is kind of I think what I'm getting at. And so I think in generating the work plan, that maybe the calendar of events will come out of that. So I can take that too as a part of the work plan.
yeah. So calendar of events is kind of more like year in review, quick glance, break up the year simply. But I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, I think once the work plan's a little bit more organized, then the calendar events would be something that could come out of that. Um, do you want a hand with that? Do you want to ask for a volunteer to help with that? I don't want you to take on.
Yeah, I think like you said, it'll just take a few minutes. The challenge is pulling information together when we don't have much of a history. So, with maybe just can we take input, maybe through email or some form so that we don't miss anything?
Yeah, I think email corresponding with all the rest of the commissioners to make sure that we've got communication that way. That way we're not taking over a whole meeting, to try to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have to watch how many are on an email thread, because then it becomes a meeting,
Mm-hmm. We'll just do
even just electronically. So what I would recommend is setting up 2 or 3 people, and then that core group then will work just on what's the work plan going to be and what's the annual calendar of events. And then, like, for instance, if Stephanie gets some information from Glory, that's one conversation. And let's say Melissa is on the same group and she gets information from the other Melissa, then that's a separate entity, but it's not a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 2 or 3 people you have on your work plan, calendar of events team isn't really holding a meeting. You're just integrating with the other members individually.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
see in the minutes here that it was discussed the idea of sending out a survey. If we're okay to do that, soliciting feedback on a calendar or on events could be a part of that survey.
Certainly. The city does have a SurveyMonkey account as well.
Okay. And does that need to go through Debbie?
It would go through me, and then Debbie and I will figure out how we get it out and who we get it out to.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Will SurveyMonkey work, you think, Stephanie, for what you need or what you
Yeah.
were thinking?
Yeah, that'll be great.
So quick question, Debbie. If I need to send out an email, for instance, I sent out a link to all the commissioners tonight about for the presentation that I did last night. Because I sent it to more than 5 people, do I need to send that to you and you send that out to everybody, or what are the rules?
Yeah, if you forward it to me, I'll forward it out to everyone else.
Okay. I know that's been talked about before. I always forget that that's something I have to do. All right. Thank you. Are there any other comments? All right, we'll move on. Call for artists reviewing application process. I think we talked about this last month. David, did you put this on here? Is this referring to the artists?
I was thinking, one, to make sure that the process was there, and see if you actually wanted to put together like a 2 or 3 member committee to be looking at them, so it wasn't just all on your shoulders, and that way it kind of divvies up the work a little bit also, and then you guys can have a separate meeting and say, hey, these artists have come in, we found these 3, and of these 3 this is the one we'd like to have for the next month, and then that way it's not all on your shoulders, and it doesn't take up as much time during a meeting because the subcommittee's already done all the work on it.
Yeah, so you're referring to the rotating gallery wall in the courthouse? Yeah, I think that would be the only, so for instance, if we're gonna maybe vote on an artist for the utility boxes or something else, I would assume that would be something that we would probably present to the whole group. In the past, I've just been the one finding the artist for the rotating gallery because I didn't feel like that was something that the whole commission really had an interest in necessarily. So I'm open to discussion with that. I'm happy to bring, people's applications to the meetings, but like you said, it does take up a lot of time that doesn't necessarily need to be at the meeting. And I've never had I struggle to find artists. It's never like, oh, I've got this person and this person, who should I pick? It's more like I'm always desperate for artists. So.
And then the other side of it too is if you had 2 or 3 people helping look for artists, you're not trying to find all of the artists for the whole year. Now you've just tripled your network to try to have other people find artists too.
Yeah, and that's always an open, and for our new commissioners as well, it's always open to, if anybody knows of any artists in the area, yeah, definitely let them know. Yeah, I'm happy to have someone help me with that. It's if anybody's interested. If we're okay with the way it's going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said that was all.
Okay. And I do have a question. Like when the artists hand me their application, do you want me to do you want the physical copy or just the virtual copy?
As long as I have a digital copy, I can print it off and put it in the binder.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little behind on that. I'll make sure I get those to you. I do want to make sure we have time for our new commissioner to be able to share and introduce herself. Sorry, I jumped ahead without doing that. Is it okay to take time right now to do that, or?
Well, why don't we do that down under reappointments/appointments?
Okay. Is there anybody interested? Would anybody like to help me find artists for the rotating gallery in the upstairs courthouse? There's also a lot of opportunities for artists um, coming up, but that's kind of what we have right now for artists. So, like I said, it's always open for if anybody knows of any visual artists, whether that's so 2D, so paintings, photography, as well as 3D. We can actually hang sculpture off of the wire mounts that we have up there. And we also actually have a glass case that we can display some things in too. So we have some variety of display capabilities. So if anybody knows of any artists, definitely send them my way.
Is there an application that is shareable on the website for that? So if we do know of someone, we can grab it and forward it to them.
Don't think it's on there right now. What do we have? We had a trifold that we need also to reprints of that. And the application was on the back of the trifold. I have a digital copy of that. David, do you know if there's space on our page to put the application on?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I thought it was on there, but there's always room to put something else on a website.
Okay.
David, do you have access to the website, or do I need to do it?
That would be 100% Debbie McDonald. Sorry.
Would that be the same call for artist application that we would use for like the utility boxes?
I feel we're going to want to do something different for the utility box. So
Is it a form that's built on the website?
The utility box, I don't think we have up yet, but currently on the Arts Commission page at the very bottom, the City of Bonney Lake recently adopted a policy, blah, blah, blah. Fill out the exhibit agreement, and it's a highlighted URL, and so it goes to a seamless doc.
That actually looks like what we need for the rotating gallery. Is that not what that's
Yep,
for?
that's what I was thinking it was. It's for the rotating gallery.
So we can grab that and share that link if we
Yeah.
come with someone. Okay.
Correct.
So
I
that
see.
includes all the details about the display and liabilities, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not really applicable for an artist submitting work for instance, like the utility boxes, although
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Where am I on the website here? This is under.
I did a search and just typed in Arts Commission.
Oh, okay.
Actually, let's see, Control C. That. I'm gonna get smart here. Boom! I just put it in the chat window.
Very good.
Like, oh yeah, we've got a chat window that it works.
I don't know how to have my agenda up and see my chat window at the same time. So
Are you talking about it's not the exhibit agreement, right? That's separate?
No, that's the whole application. If you click
Okay.
that, it'll open up a seamless doc.
So we would have to rebuild something for like the utility, but we don't have access to that, right? That would be you or Debbie, or
Correct.
okay. And we just need to figure out what needs to go on there.
Correct. And
Okay.
then we would get a form very similar to this made up for
Yeah,
the
because
boxes.
it looks like it'd be very similar because it has like the upload. That's where you would upload the artwork.
Yep.
Artist name, contact. Yeah, I mean it'd be pretty similar, and I can send you an example of what I've seen for other cities.
well, why don't we go ahead and move on to the utility box design and cost? Or do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
Sorry, my phone started ringing. Someone else tried calling, and it completely muted this. What was that?
Oh, I think we can go ahead and move on if you wanted to talk about the utility boxes.
Oh, okay. Here, yeah. Now that I'm caught up here, where is it? Okay. So, I just emailed everyone. I don't know if you guys have access to your email, but I just sent like a draft of like the traffic signal kind of timelines, budgets. Um, you know, I just it's just like I said, it's a rough draft that you guys can look at. I don't know how doable those timelines are, um, but I'm just trying to be optimistic and trying to get it done. Um, so if you want to take a look at those and see if, I have it open on my computer here. So if there are edits that we can capture, I can capture them on the document.
I'm not able to. Let's see. I think I can get. Oh, there we are.
And I can go down the list. And this is based off, like I said, City of Kent is where I work, and I'm borrowing pretty much their stuff since I already have it figured out. So starting at the top, there's a contact email. So I just put my email for now. I don't know if there's a general Arts Commission email address that it can, that I can put there instead. And then the call type would be public art. Eligibility, I wasn't sure if we wanted to be specific to just Bonney Lake. I don't know if it needed to be, for the whole state. So I don't know the specifics. This is Kent just has it unspecified because they don't, as long as you're in the state, then it's okay. But if we wanted to be more specific, we could be. And then entry deadline, I just put April 29th. Again, I'm just trying to get it rolling, and I can change that to earlier or later, whatever you guys think is actually doable. And then days remaining, I just did 30. We can take that line out if we don't need it. Budget, so I don't think we had a number, and maybe there was a number already established, but I've just put 500. Kent does 1,000. I don't know if we have that or if what council has approved, but 500 is kind of what I put on there. That's inclusive of design, research, travel, and applicable Washington sales use tax. Requirement, so the media images, I think what this is saying, it's a minimum of 4 images if they want to submit for the different sides, is my thoughts. But I can expand on that if we need to. And then for a maximum of 10. And I think it's also if they wanted to submit different examples of work that could be translated into a traffic box. Background, so that just kind of talks about why, the reason behind it, what it's going to look like. And then, yeah, it specifies that we want it to be fabrication ready, meaning that, we would have to have the vendor, which I also have numbers for from Print Northwest, but we would have the vendor, they would measure out the box and create a template for us, and we would provide that to the artist so that they can set their work up on that template. And then these timelines, this is where I will need your guys' help for sure to see if this is, and I just based it off of Arts Commission meetings and based off of just what seems reasonable. So application deadline, April 29th, selection panel, May 25th, which I think is our meeting date after the April date. Artists notified the 27th. I'm hoping that we can select those artists then, and then notify them by that Friday, and then they would create their work. So that's where they would create it specific to because I think they would submit their type of art, then we would approve or not approve, then they would create the specific work for the traffic boxes. And that's where we would present those proposals, or they would present the proposals to us that June 22nd meeting, and then have the final version with, the template, based on the template and ready for fabrication for July 27th, and then have it installed depending on whether around August or September. But again, if you guys think we can do it earlier, I can totally move these dates around. I just wanted to make sure that we're realistic. And then the election process just talks about, how we go about doing that. Selection criteria. You can kind of read that there. And then the eligibility, again, is based on whatever we want. And so all of these things can be changed. So I'll give you guys a chance to look it over, or if we want to change it now, or if we want to work on it over email. I don't know what's best to move this forward.
Thank you. This is amazing. Can you help me understand, down there it says evaluation and selection process, qualifications, and select 8 artists? Is there a reason why it has 8?
And that we need to edit. So that was based off Kent's. Kent has 8 boxes that they're looking to get wrapped. So that's one artist for us, right? Because we're only doing one, or
Well, that's what we can vote on. Looking at our budget, we can do 2 this year, since we don't have any other.
yeah. And let me bring up that quote that I got early on. So, and it was just an idea. Where'd it go?
So just so everyone knows, I confirmed with Public Works today and GIS, and we have a total of 6 boxes that are available in the city. One of which is the light in between Mountain View Middle School and Bonney Lake High School. And I would recommend that somehow that becomes a dual themed, where maybe one side of the box is designed by Mountain View kids and the other half of the box is designed by the high school kids, or maybe even just have like logos put on for the different schools, which would then leave you with 5 boxes.
Yeah, I love that idea, David. We've talked about that before too. And
Yeah.
A lot of the creative design classes and stuff would love to participate.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a small conversation when we were doing the work party about just maybe having it be, a thing that the middle school and high school can contribute, and maybe that's the first box, and I think that would speed up the process and timeline, because we wouldn't have to do a call for artists, and we could just submit it to the schools and have them, design. But we weren't sure about payment for students. I don't know, can we pay them money? Do we have to do? Okay.
You don't need to. They would be happy to do it as an authentic project, and all of the banners in our that are downtown, those were created by the creative design class, and that is probably the class at the high school that would probably participate, unless you're just if you want it in a digitalized version. Otherwise, definitely could get other artists participating too. And then at the junior high, I don't know if they have digital art classes, but they do have art classes.
Yeah, so that's what I've seen too. It doesn't have to be digital art specifically. So I've seen paintings that they just photograph, and then they, kind of fit those to the traffic box template as well.
Yeah. So maybe what we would want to do is just do a call for a submission of a JPEG or whatever version you want of art, and then the middle school and high school students could just submit, their artwork, and then you could pick your favorites from those.
Yeah, because you could even do a collage if you wanted to, for
That'd
those,
be cool.
middle school and high school one. But yeah, the range for the wraps, so based off of Lakewood prices that I got from Print Northwest, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,600. Um, and I think the 1,600 one, because it's three for 1,064, then one for 1,692. I think that's just a bigger box because it's specified at 35 square feet, and it looks like it's two. So that must have been kind of like a two-part traffic box.
The only other thought I have is when you guys do your calendar every year and you put an all call out for submissions, there is like it's like contest and then the students can win like $50 and it does get a lot more interest with students when you do give a little like bonus prize, then more students would probably participate, but we wouldn't have to do that. It just depends if we want it to go through a class and have it be a project and do it that way, or if we'd want it to be like an extra thing that students would want incentive to participate in.
I think on that idea, if we go back up to the top for eligibility, if we put any of the artists have to be in the Sumner, Bonney Lake, White River, or Derringer school district, because City of Bonney Lake has 3 school districts in it. Those 3, that would give you a wide enough breadth, I think, and then also give all of those students the opportunity to participate. And I would even want to lean a little bit towards making it you need to be in school, whether it's college down, and to think that students are going to get an opportunity to decorate these. They're going to be so excited about the decoration of them. And then to be able to be like, hey, come on, we got to go check out my box, where adults might not be quite as excited. And I
So
think it has a lot of bragging.
Are you thinking about all the boxes or just the one by the middle school and high school?
I would almost, my gut at the moment is to lean toward having the students do all of them, because there's only 6. But it's all up to you guys, though, too, so... And then I think going back to the poster, the calendar that we do every year, having the stipend for the winners, I think if we made a smaller stipend, because the kids aren't going to necessarily need as much money as a traditional artist that's of my older age, the kids would be happy with the $100, and you can get an extra box probably wrapped by not having as big of a stipend. I know when I was in high school, man, if I had $100, I was rich.
Yeah, and especially since you're not taking their art, I think whenever the art is like taken, then they want a higher compensation. But if you're just using their imagery, $100 would be amazing, and they can put it in their portfolio, for applying for school or scholarships or whatever.
I'm loving this idea. This is awesome. So we could basically keep the application the same, add the criteria being, like you stated, David, high school students, or are we doing high school and middle school? Just high school?
I would let the middle school, even the elementary kids participate. Why not?
I think they would. Sorry. I think it's a beautiful idea because, I mean, our kids, they're some brilliant artists for sure. I definitely want to pay the kids, like, I think, yeah, that gives them some incentive. We can agree on what that would be. Definitely not the 500, maybe more than 100, just because, gas prices and price of soda pop and candy, whatever kids are buying these days. I don't know. No, kids have to buy a lot right now. So maybe more than 100, like 200 or 300. But I think putting this out, definitely have a contract. We're going to need a contract in place. Working with kids I think it's all important regardless whether we're working with kids or adults. So definitely needs to be some sort of contract in here. But
I would take a look at what the Our Own Expressions for the Pierce County Library System, their competition looks like, because they have a lot of legal stuff in there about being able to reproduce student work. And then they get like the parent signature and everything. And I bet we could just copy some of that stuff and it would work really well.
yeah,
Questions?
We also could do it like where you get some of it in cash and some could be towards like Ben Franklin gift card, or I don't know, like I feel like yeah, we could be like supporting local businesses, and also most of these kids would want art supplies. I don't know, just a thought that like maybe it isn't all just pure cash, or it could even, if we had a couple of, it could be scholarships. I don't know, just throwing ideas out there of different ways we could make it work. And then I love the idea of still including elementary. And even if we didn't get a lot of like amazing elementary art, we could do like a collage box of elementary art. Like I loved Josh's idea, and that would be a cool thing where there's like a bunch of like cool kiddo designs all over one box or something.
yay! I love it.
And then we could just split the money between that group or something. I don't know, and everybody gets like $15 or something. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
what was that? Did you say Arum Expressions? What was it?
Yeah, the Pierce County Library Our Own Expressions.
Oh,
and
Our.
They just had, and I love how they have it set up too, because it's all an online form, and then you just submit your image there. And I think the winners, we'd have to have their parents sign off on something if they won. But just to submit, anybody could fill that out and submit.
I wonder if with collage pieces, like elementary collages, if a group of kids at an elementary school can work together for scholarship funds for their school, for their
the
playground,
art docent programs.
art supplies,
Ooh,
thing like
I
that.
love that idea, Stephanie. Because the art docent programs could submit, and they always don't have enough funds to run their programs.
That's a great idea. Because then, like, for instance, if Emerald Hills won the collage contest, the Art Commission donates like $200 to the art docent program at Emerald Hills, or whichever school you feel wins the competition. Win money for your school.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What do you think about a theme? I mean, the motto for the city is "Where dreams can soar." Give the kids a little bit of a theme to kind of run with.
What I love about driving through Auburn in particular is how different every box looks. And it's surprising and exciting to me. So I would lean away from a theme personally, but totally up to you guys. I also feel like sometimes it stops like from getting as much entries, like if we control it too much.
Yeah, I love all of these ideas. I wrote down all these notes here. So are we going to do a call for 6 boxes if it's, I guess, is that within our budget or no? I guess it depends on how much we're paying, right? And how much because the thing is the vendor still has to go out and measure and give us an actual quote. And so I don't know, I'll have to talk to the vendor and see if they charge for that. I'm assuming they do, or if it's part of the fee, kind of a.
So I apologize for missing the meeting last month because I think you guys talked about some important things, and so I want to ask a question that I know you already talked about. So I apologize for that. But when I start thinking about monetary or budget limitations, that's when I start thinking about getting community businesses involved in sponsoring this program, because it's money for schools potentially, or money for the arts. Maybe Ben Franklin would want to sponsor a box financially, or approach something like that. And so that kind of falls into the donation, in kind and cash donations from businesses conversation that I missed. So
No, we haven't had a quorum in a couple of months, so we haven't had a whole lot of conversation over this. And we did have, like I said, we talked a little bit at the work party, and we did talk about that as well as just an idea for funding, but none of it obviously was set in stone. But that's definitely another idea, that we can pitch. But it would probably be, I would assume that they would probably want something in return, whether it's their logo placement. And I don't know what that looks like for Bonney Lake, like if that's okay or not. So those are the questions that I had.
it could be a fancy certificate that they get to hang on the wall of their place of business.
Yeah. David, do you know what that, I mean, do you know if, you know,
I'm not sure if we have my guess is there might be something in the sign code when it comes to the logo, but if it's on the artwork, we might be able to get away with like a small logo in like the corner of the box, as long as it's not like the major part of the box. But as we were talking about donations, I was thinking, well, maybe Sandy Signs would be interested in giving a discounted vinyl wrap price to put their logo in the corner and their local. So then that does kind of go back to the supporting the local business. And I think it'd be a great idea to I can do some research to see if there's any limitations on us putting logos on the boxes. I would think not, but if we're spending this much money, it's probably smarter to investigate and confirm than to get it all done and be like, oh man, we just spent $1,500 to wrap that box. Now we got to put a patch over a corner.
Yeah, we've done, what we do is like a black sticker. It's kind of like a plaque that gives the artist's name, their preferred like social media account, just so that they get some promotion, and then the arts commission, little logo thing. We haven't done any business partnerships, but that's an idea that we can do, is like a little plaque at the bottom of the traffic box that kind of the artist can sign or the school can sign. And if it's,
or it could even be printed on really in the corner.
yeah.
So
Totally.
like for instance, if the Lowe's Hardware was going to be this box sponsored by Lowe's Hardware, the artist is this is the date of the installation, here's the media, how to get in touch with the artist.
If there were winning schools, it would be cool to put the school's name, and I think it'd be easy to do like sponsored by such and such and such, but I think it should be small and in the corner. And if those businesses want it to be bigger than that, I don't think we should do it. They might even just want to help with the prize money or something, like they might want to help with the donation to the school, or like we could see what they would be open to. I personally think we should shoot for all 6 at once so that we can actually get the art lined up and ready. And then when the money's there, it's ready to go. And sometimes at the end of the year, we can I've heard that we can sometimes try and get the city council to maybe use end of the year funds, to push a couple in or something. So I think we've waited so long on this. I just want to get it done.
Well, that's where I guess if I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, going after all these sponsorships and trying to get all of this support is definitely going to push that out, because that's a lot of legwork and a lot of of asking people and connecting, and I know I don't have those connections. Maybe you guys have more connections.
I do have a connection with the Bonney Lake Chamber of Commerce, who has connections with lots of the businesses in Bonney Lake, Ording, Buckley, Chambers.
So we'll just have to come up. Do you think we should do like a sponsorship flyer thing that we can hand out, and do it that way?
Yeah,
Stephanie,
almost like a call to sponsors, like a call to artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
what if we did two that were paid for by the city of Bonnie Lake, and we could say sponsored by city of Bonnie Lake, and then those can be our examples to go get more.
So here's something I'm just kind of thinking about. Right now, we've got the timeline of an April through September installation. What if we push that to be installed and revealed during Arctober? If you're that close, then that gives us another month here on the front end to get some sponsorships for those boxes.
Okay.
As soon as
I mean, I know it's been lasting for a while, but just a
But if we
thought.
could get them all done in 1 year, that would be brilliant. That brings me to a thought too. I know in general we try to put teams together for each of these projects, and so far Josh has been doing this on his own, um, and it looks like Omar has not been reappointed. So I just wanted to open up the floor if there's anybody here that would like to kind of team up with Josh. Looks like this is becoming, there's a lot more work to be done with looking for sponsors. So.
Josh, I can't help with the sponsors, but I would help you with the school side and organizing it on that front.
Yeah.
If we go that route, then I'd be happy to be a liaison or connection to the different artists and programs or whatever. I could help with that.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and as soon as we have some sort of a letter to the businesses, kind of pitching the idea and asking them to sponsor, I can definitely get that in the hands of some local businesses. If pay some of them visits, but I think I would like to use the Chamber of Commerce connection first and let them kind of pitch it for us.
Okay. So, just do you want just to draft some kind of letter or some kind of call for sponsorships? Okay.
Yeah, I really like the idea of calling all of the artists because I think it would be uh, I think if the project goes on too long because we do to as we have funds, I think an overall impact in the mind of the community. Even if we say we're going to, we're going to request artists for these 6 boxes to be installed over the next 3 years or something like that. Like, we don't have to promise the installation right away, but I do think it's a good idea to get one big call to all the schools at one time.
And I mean, that could be that maybe we push the deadline out till like the end of May, since, school will be getting out mid-June.
Yeah. What I can do too is maybe change the language so that it talks about it being an ongoing thing, and so some will be selected, or I don't know how to.
First consideration for selection will be for those applications received by the May 25th meeting.
And then David, if they're going to go out for sponsorships, those sponsors are going to want to pay directly to wherever the wraps are made, right? So that it doesn't have to go through the city as far as the funding and be reallocated.
Probably.
I think we could go 2 routes. Like, one, they could pay for the wrap itself, or they could pay the donation to the winning schools. I think that gives businesses a choice.
So pay wrap. Okay. Okay. So I'll work on this stuff and try to. Do you want me to have something ready for next Arts Commission, or do you want me to do it beforehand and email it and work through it that way?
Then Debbie will mail it out.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot we could be doing if we had a subcommittee for this between meetings. You can I don't know if it needs to be a subcommittee or just if Debbie sends it out to all the commissioners and then we can get input. It's just in historically, like if something goes out to the whole Arts Commission, I have a harder time getting people to jump on board than if it's specifically a smaller subcommittee group.
Because I could just work with Melissa and Stephanie, since it's, just mainly a letter for chambers, for businesses, sponsorships, and then it's a letter to the artists at the schools. So I can just we'll have you guys be the subcommittee. It can work that way. The second.
Yeah.
Melissa or Jennifer, do you have any comment? No, you're good. Don't want to leave you out. Sorry. All right. I'm going to open up shuffling virtual papers. Okay. Josh, is there anything else you need tonight, or are you ready to move on?
I think I'm good. I think
Okay.
yeah.
Huge thank you. This is amazing. I'm so excited, you guys. This is like, I don't know, every time we get together, it's really beautiful to see all the ideas coming together. And I don't know that I've seen any other city doing this with students. So I'm really excited this is happening. And so on so many levels. I mean, our kids have gone through so much virtual school for the last year and a half. COVID, everything. Like, I think this will be really therapeutic in so many levels for them to be able to get their, yeah, kids are amazing. They've got some incredible ideas. I'm excited about it. All right, outdoor display plaques. Stephanie, did you have any comments on that?
I don't have any comments. I don't know how to share the image that I sent to you, Glory. That was just a sample of the finish on that metal.
Yay.
Do you guys need anything from me? I do know the company who had originally bid those now has a laser, which is going to produce a really nice quality cut. They'll look really great. So.
Oh, wait, let that. There it is.
So it's kind of their own custom patina finish with a clear coat. So, metal's going to age a little bit, and so we might as well give it a head start and do it the way we want it. The one thing I did, what is going to need to happen if we choose to use the logo, the Arts Commission logo, is that the birds need to go back inside the palette. And I would just propose using the City of Bonney Lake's logo as is, with the birds around the word Bonney Lake, in place of the way it is now, which is Bonney Lake with the birds around the perimeter, the bottom perimeter of that palette. So there's a little bit of a logo change, but I don't think it's big enough that it means that we have to reproduce everything that we've made, the banners and things. But I think it'll make for a better, more interesting sign if it's the shape of the artist palette as opposed to a rectangle with a negative image cut out.
Yeah. Especially with, people driving 55 miles an hour on the highway, something that's a little more visually. So last meeting, we were trying to vote on actually approving getting, I think, 3 of them cut. But then we didn't have a quorum, so we weren't able to vote on it. But we were kind of blind voting because we didn't really know what it was going to look like exactly. So having that image is helpful. I guess one question I have is it going to, there won't be any lettering on it then at all, just Bonney Lake, or?
I would cut them, well, however we want. If you want to use the logo, typically you don't modify a logo, but I think just the City of Bonney Lake Arts Commission, it would say Arts Commission, and it could still have where dreams can soar on the bottom edge of that. So yeah, there would be words.
Oh,
Identify the Arts Commission.
I didn't know that they were able to cut all of that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Where is the logo? I've never seen it. Where can I see it?
The city logo or the Arts Commission logo?
Yeah, the arts.
The city logo looks like that.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I would want to just use the word that it just like it is there instead of the broken apart version. And let me see if I can.
Are we redesigning the Arts Commission logo? Is that what? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. Let me see if I can snip an image of it because I have it open on my screen, and I think I can drop it in the chat. See if this works. It does not let me drop it in there.
I just ask, are any of the commissioners, we're running up to an hour now, is anyone going to need to leave soon? Because if so, we want to make sure we get to whatever we need to get to on the agenda.
Thank you. Yeah, we should. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say if we could keep going, that would be awesome, and then maybe come back to it. Would it be possible to revisit it at the end, or if once you can get the thing to share? Or
Keep working on it. This is on the agenda. Is it not on the agenda? Sorry, I'm looking at the minutes.
I don't know. I'm confused. Sorry.
The Arts Commission logo's down under new business.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was putting it kind of in the same category as the plaques, but we can move on. I'll keep working on getting this dropped in there.
Okay. New business for SharePoint. David, did you have something you wanted to share?
It looks like Chuck is going to be able to get the Art Commission all on one SharePoint group that we'll be able to use as our workstation, so to speak. Right now, we're in the process of drafting up all the language and the guidelines to make sure we don't break any of the meeting rules in how we use the SharePoint app. Because we don't want to go in and all be like commenting all on, for instance, the Arts Commission logo, where then we're kind of having a meeting by having emails go back and forth on the logo, but more of a storage space where the small team group can go in and be working on the logo and have it stored there. So SharePoint is coming
Okay.
at government speed.
Okay, so I don't know much about it. You said this is a place where we can share documents, store documents.
Yeah.
Comment. Okay. Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. Was there anything else?
That's it for SharePoint.
Okay. So Arts Commission logo, do you know why this is on new business?
Because I wasn't sure with the plaques if you were going to end up wanting to change that, or are we totally good with the way the logo currently is? And if so, we can just take it off forever and ever and be good to go.
So I emailed it to Josh only. I was hoping that you were savvy enough to be able to just share that screen because I can't drop it into the chat as an image or upload it.
Oh, okay. Let me check here.
So it sounds like we might need to adjust the logo just for these metal signs, but then, the logo would stay the same in all the other documents and papers, and we're not looking at changing it completely just for the the metal cutting. Is that right?
I would say we can make a decision to create a new logo or a new image for the signs. And if you like it, we can choose to adopt it as a new logo later. I don't know that we have to decide now to change the logo. But you might like it changed. So,
Yeah. Josh, were you able to see it?
Yeah.
it's not great because of it's a Photoshop, but that's what it looks like. So Arts Commission would probably drop down a little bit, and Bonney Lake would look exactly like it does on the city's correspondence now, like at the top of our agenda, with the birds in the actual city logo.
So, is there something we need to vote on now, or if you could come up, Stephanie, if you'd be able to come up with like well, last meeting, Molly shared that we had a kind of a ballpark budget for cutting 3 of them, and we were hoping to vote on it to get them cut.
Yeah, the minutes from last week or last month say you were going to vote. Well, 4 plaques are $362.
Okay.
Um, and as soon as it's approved, yeah, we can go. They're ready. Well, I'll have to adjust this image, but what will happen is what that process looks like is I will submit to them an art that's ready to be cut. They will, excuse me, they'll make some slight adjustments because like the letter A, for example, has a little triangle inside of it, and that little triangle, once it's cut, is going to fall right out. So they have to create some attachment points to make sure that the letters stay true to how they look. And so then they will submit that artwork back to us for approval before they cut.
Okay.
So
Can
do we
you
want to have that artwork ready for the next meeting then?
Yeah, I think we can do that. Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me the size we were thinking of for each one?
Oh, I don't remember, but it's in the estimate. I have two computers in front of me, and I keep using the wrong thing.
So if we wait to vote on the next
So
meeting, I guess if we vote now, then we can at least get the funds approved for beginning the process of cutting them.
Well, my guess is will they do design work before they get paid, or is it when you purchase them and pick them up that they need to be paid?
well, so this is a family business that is owned by my brother, and so he would be willing to work with us on that. So
Because traditionally the way cities work is once we get a quote, then we'll issue a purchase order. And then once the item has arrived, then we typically will pay for it. Which
okay,
is why I would recommend getting, if we can, get the design work done so it's finalized, and then this group is voting on a final product that's like, okay, this is exactly what we all agree on, and then we have it cut and send give
Yeah,
people.
we would just have the terms on this set to pay on receipt or on delivery, as opposed to having, typically what they do is they require a 50% deposit before they do any work, but in this case, I don't see that. I think we'll just do like a COD kind of a thing.
Okay.
I can't find the estimate. I'll have to find that again and resend that to you guys if you don't have it in the email.
Molly had shared it last month, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what context it was in. I don't think it was email. Might have been email. Okay. Well, is that are you able to do that by next month, Stephanie, or let me know if you need help with it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's no problem.
All
Let
right.
me know if you need help with the artwork.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I guess we can move on to Summer Tunes at Taps booth. Is there anybody who would like to help volunteer for that this summer? It runs from, what are our dates?
Every Wednesday in July and August.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
There's been some chat about it, and so I've gotten two people said they were interested. Two of our commissioners have said they're interested in maybe running it once or twice a month, but not every month, but because it's just been a lot of work. So Melissa and Jennifer, if you're interested in knowing more about it, I can talk to you more about that.
For me, it really depends on how the pandemic goes. I mean, like, we don't know what the summer's going to look like, so on a
Absolutely.
personal side. But I do know that in the past, our art commissioner has always been really active in it. So it might be something, if Caitlin's re-upping for next year, usually they stay on like 2 years in a row or whatever. But we can ask Caitlin if she wants to keep going with it. I think she participated a ton last summer in it.
Yeah, I did talk with Caitlin. She was the one that said she'd be willing to do once or twice a month. I guess I should go by last names. I forgot we have two Melissas now.
So I would be willing to do once or twice a month. My computer's gonna go dead, so I'm gonna have to log off. I'm at 5%. So
Oh no, I
yeah.
really wanted to give you a chance to share. Do you want to share really quick?
Sure. I can do a quick introduction. My name is Melissa Munson Merritt. I live in Bonney Lake. I live on the same street as my great uncle, Alan York, lives. I live right across the street from where he started. They came out here in the 60s, and I live next door to my 90-year-old grandma and my dad and my cousin and everybody who lives right behind Emerald Hills here. I'm a school principal out in the Bethel School District. I've been there for about 12 years. I'm an elementary school principal. And so I have wanted to serve my own community, which is why I'm here on this commission. I do a lot in the Spanaway area, but not as much in Bonney Lake. And my kids live here. They went to Emerald Hills and they go to Lake Ridge and Sumner. So I wanted to kind of get involved with my own community and the families and the kids and the adults in this area. So that's why I'm here. And so I'm sorry I have to leave. It's like it's doing this app must just be sucking the juice out of my computer, and I didn't bring my charging cable home. So
I apologize for not letting you introduce yourself sooner, Melissa. We just jumped right into business. Really, really, really honored to have you, and really excited to get to know you.
yeah, well, I'm happy to help this summer. My schedule is a little more flexible in this summer, obviously. So, I mean, I can't commit to all days, obviously, but I'm happy to definitely be on for 1 week a month, if not 2, if possible.
Okay, I'll give you a call or email, and we can chat more about it as well.
All right, nice to meet
Okay.
everybody. Thank you.
Night. So do we still have a quorum?
Nope, just 5 of you.
Okay,
The only thing left on the agenda is reappointments.
Which we reappointed and appointed new people, so we do have a full commission. So we have 11 commissioners now.
That's still not a quorum for meetings.
Yeah, right.
And I asked twice about if anyone's not showing up to let me know. and still, like I said, only the two.
I don't know when mine ends. Like, I don't know when my appointment ends for this round.
2072.
Yep, until everything's done, Melissa.
Until you die.
I can, on the next agenda, I will pull up the dates on, and we'll just put behind everybody's name what year their term expires.
That would be great to know.
Yeah, you didn't read the fine print, Melissa. You signed on for.
I mean, I'm happy to keep going. I'm taking on an AP class next year and doing a big training this summer, so I foresee myself not being as available next year because that's a huge investment in my job. But I will do my best to keep supporting you guys. I just wasn't sure, where I was at because I started like, I don't know, when we very first. I think I'm the only person who started this commission and is still on it. So besides Debbie. Debbie, you and me.
Well, we appreciate you being the student advocate. You know, it's been really, really essential. And of course, we all have things, and we can only do as much as we can. And I appreciate everything that everybody's able to offer. So thank you all for being here tonight. I guess this is it. Round.
You guys have a good night.
We'll see everybody in April.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, you. I'm really frustrated. I'm so frustrated. Um, my colleague Ellen hurt herself at school. So she couldn't march and I couldn't leave the kids off the street. So that was frustrating, but that's okay. I mean, life goes on. The, yeah, and I mean, I see myself and then it says Josh Gonzalez, but I tried to do this down there because I took my laptop with me and well, I came home to do it because I couldn't, and I will not use school district equipment. Joe's like, well, try mine. I'm like, Joe, I don't want to do that on a district machine with your name. Well, and then I came home and it goes in, but this is my good machine. So, okay, I just want to cry. I really do. I mean, yeah, but I feel like I'm missing everything, and I was purposeful, and those guys knew. And Ellen says, yeah, she has to work late. She's Wilkerson, and so I'm down there at 3:30, and I'm teaching with the kids. And then she said, I'll relieve you, and then go. And she hurt herself, and I was like, you know what, you can't. I said, your leg, don't even push it. I said, because what's going to happen is then we have a week off, but then we only took the kids around down to Sumner Middle and back around. And I told them, I said, you guys, you're 3/4 way through Tacoma, and they about died. Yeah. So, this, you are already an arts commission. Do you want to leave and join the new meeting? What? I'm confused. And tried it that way. I did not with my phone because I only had 2 bars down there and I couldn't even get it to, yeah, it wouldn't do its thing. You know what? I emailed Chuck and David both when I was having troubles just even I was fine through December getting into our email stuff, trying to say, hey, are we coming? Are we going? What are we doing? And then finding out, okay, January we're going to start up. Great. Well, I can't do that January date. I already had commitment. Then we were in Florida. We literally, I told Dennis, I said, we can't come home on Thursday. We have to come home on Wednesday. And then we got 3 hour because we had meeting. He goes, yeah, you better go to your meeting. And so we thought, okay, we'll save the money. We come home. We had a 3 hour delay in Chicago. And so I was upset. I got home and I was like, there is no way they're on. It's 9 o'clock at night. So anyway, I feel like I'm hitting my head against the wall right now. I really rather meet in person. But what I'm saying with Chuck and David is I emailed them. I said, hey guys, can you help me? And Chuck, because I said I didn't change my password. I did a whole bunch of I waited 2 weeks and then I could get in. Go figure. But I never heard from them. Well, like I've said, I feel like I'm being a putz. I'm not, you guys. I'm trying. So, anyway. I did. I texted David. I said, look, I'm going to try by 6:20 because she was going to be there after 6. And she got there. She marched a little bit and then she had to go. And she was limping. And I'm like, yeah. And and I'm not going to leave the kids on the street, Melissa. Just not. I mean, Joe could do it, but he had everybody. And so I'm sorry, but I'm going to do for kids first, then go. So any fun, interesting things I need to know because I've been asking and asking a few questions and I kind of feel like I'm getting the runaround. So anyway.